to the Adventure of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Wake up, America! It's time for the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY.com, West Palm Beach's #1 internet radio station. Here's your host, the Pipeman.
This is the Pipeman here on the Adventures of Pipeman W4CY Radio, and I'm here with our next guest, who is an absolute legend that just came out with brand new music a few days ago. I'm very excited about it. So let's welcome to the show, U.D.O. Dirkschneider. How are you?
Yeah, hello. I'm fine. Thank you very much. Everything good so far.
Everything's great, especially this new album. I was listening to it over the weekend, and man, it is a banger.
Yes, I think we are also very happy with the album, and also the reaction so far are very, very good. So, what else you can have more?
So, how does it feel right off the bat to be playing again with Peter?
Oh, yeah. I think it's a lot of fun. It's nice to have him also on stage, working together with him. I mean, yeah, it's like he never went away.
I know, right? It's weird how time goes. You know, you and I have been around a while, and it seems like you just wake up one day and you blinked, and 30 years, 40 years just disappeared.
Yes, in a way.
I remember that first time I heard your music way back in the 80s, and man, I hear this new album, and I'm like, it's like deja vu. You know, same badass riffs, same great music, and it's timeless. Your music.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's also a reason, why this album came out like this. A little bit more aggressive. I think there are two things came together. The classic stuff what we always did, that's the ground. But also, let's say, more modern arrangements on top. And that, the two things are coming together. And I think it's also like about, of course, I have young people around me. Like my son is getting 30, guitar player 30, the other guitar player 40. It's really young generation. They're thinking different, Yeah. So, and of course, we have a lot of also situations, what you can hear also on the album, also on 3 songs, lyrical-wise, is like... isolation, it's about Corona, what we had for a pandemic for nearly 2 years. So there was nothing going on. And then we had the flood that was like the house of my son was completely gone by a flood, and there was just a brand new studio where we want to work but everything gone. And then, of course, we had this situation with our guitar player, Andre. He was living in Ukraine for over 10 years. And the thing was to get him out there was not so easy, but finally now he lives in Germany, and this is the song Fight for Your Right, So there are a lot of things on this album, they are real.
Yeah. I love that, because I think that's the one thing about metal and hard rock is the music is real. The lyrics are real. It's not this bubblegum stuff. It's real issues that we're dealing with and that everybody's dealing with, where it's cathartic for you as the artist to get these things out, but also us as the listeners, we can relate, and it makes us feel better and get through all these crazy times we're in.
Oh, yeah. We are living at the moment in really crazy times, and for us, it's like when we write lyrics, for example, we are always like looking around what's going on. You can watch the news, and then you have already some ideas for you lyrics, So, that's a good thing for us to write lyrics, and also like vocals. I did this now together with my son already for 2 years or 2 albums, also lyric-wise. And it's also like, he came up with some ideas. Daddy, can you sing it maybe like this and this? It's also very interesting for me. And I think the most important thing is in this band, it's like, everybody is open-minded. Nobody has an ego. We are working together. That's the most important thing, and it makes a lot of fun.
That's key what you just said right there, because I think that's the downfall of most bands over the long haul is ego.
Ego, yeah, I know. Don't tell me.
Right?
Okay, yeah, leave it like in a room.
I know, right? And I love what you said about you have like different decades of people, age groups in the band. And what's
Yeah.
cool about that is then you have the ability to appeal to all people, all ages, and
Yes.
different thought processes. Like I know how it is with my kids, and same I still think is cool. They may think something different and want to do something differently that maybe worked in and wouldn't have worked in the 80s, but what worked in the 80s may not work now. So you have to have that fine mix of everything.
Yeah, and that's a good thing, and I think especially also what I think at the moment is this new album, what we did on this new album, I think I'm looking already for the next album, so that shows us that we are on the right direction, that we can be more doing more some things, maybe, you never say maybe in the earlier days, I don't think so, but now open up to so many things, and I mean, definitely also the next album is already, okay, we're talking about it tomorrow, Touchdown, but I mean, it will be also very interesting, when Peter is also back in songwriting on the next album, he did just the bass on this new album, but there was also a thing on Touchdown, I mean, Peter has his own style to play the bass, and we said, okay, feel free. And then, yeah, I mean, also, I think that gave the bass playing of Peter was also pushing the thing also a little bit more forward, He's a really, really great bass player. I know that.
And I love that you talk that way about him and that you just let him have free reign, because there's a lot of bands in history that the bassist is kind of like in the background or, not taken as seriously. And I think it could totally change the sound of a band. Like you take a band like Iron Maiden. Mm-hmm. Steve Harris is the sound of Iron Maiden, in my opinion.
Yeah, you're true. I agree.
So, and I think that's what Peter brings to the table is, there's a distinct sound there that comes from a great bassist that you can't duplicate. And I think that's great that also that you realize, hey, let everybody do their part and everybody contributes. And that's the recipe.
Yeah. And I mean, it's also, I think always the motor of the band is the drums and the bass, And it's also very interesting. I mean, Peter is also now 66, my son is 30, but they are working together. I mean, also live. Wow. What can I say? Only wow, And that's perfect. They understand each other. And I don't know. That's very interesting.
It's amazing. And listen, Touchdown is definitely, it's not like somebody that's been doing music for 4 years that just puts out an album. This is innovative. It's new. It's fresh. I mean, it's like listening to your music from the first time all over again.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, what I said already in the beginning. I mean, I'm really happy with the new album, and it opened up so many things for us for the future, to go more forward with some different things. But of course, the basic. Okay, I cannot change my voice.
Right.
That is always like the trademark of on everything.
I don't think we want to change the voice, but
yeah, I mean, definitely music-wise, and there will be a lot of opportunities, I think.
I'll tell you what was wild to me too, because I just got back recently from a flight from the UK for doing Bloodstock. I was doing coverage for Bloodstock, and my neighbor on the plane, the guy sitting next to me, he plays in the European Football League, not soccer, but American football, which I didn't even know existed. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I get the promo for your new album. I'm like, wow, I didn't know Europe had such a fascination with American football. Usually it's like regular football.
Yeah, no, I mean, now it's getting more and more popular here, also in Europe. I mean, now we have a commercial TV station. They put football on, as a really important sport, and but I mean, it was also not planned, We had this, we didn't have an idea how we want to name the album, and then we were sitting in Brazil on the South American tour at the airport, at the sports bar, and there was American football going on. And then always we heard this word touchdown, touchdown, touchdown. And then we said, that's the title for the album. It fits together with the music, This sport is also powerful, it's people are staying together and whatever. And and then we said it fits for the music, and also you can say we also landing with our music, we make a touchdown. So
absolutely,
and here we go.
And you certainly have scored a touchdown with this album, and I love that there's so many different products people have to check out for the album, for vinyl, and like there's so many cool ways to get the album. Let's tell everybody how they can, now that it dropped on the 25th, how can they get the album and all the different vinyl and different special packages, and how they connect to you guys on socials, the web, get your merch, all that other great stuff?
Yeah, I mean, you can go to our website, then you find everything on the UDO.com. I think it's the website, or you can go on Facebook, Instagram, and go on Atomic Fire, on the website, and then you find everything what you need, and hopefully you buy it. That's also the most important thing.
I think they definitely should, and I love that vinyl's coming back, and we have all these cool things for vinyl, because I mean, that was always such an experience, where like just sitting with an album, and it's the whole experience. It's not just listening to music, it's the artwork. Like we have behind me the artwork for the album, which is really cool, and then just like it's like a whole journey you take when you're going through an album.
Yeah, I mean, it's good to see that there is a big revival for vinyl, unbelievable. I mean,
I know, right?
It's unbelievable. Also here in Germany, and it's like, wow, so it's good. I mean, also I have, I don't know, 500 or 600 vinyls here. I have also a thing where I can play this, and I think the sound for me, it's warmer. Okay, if you play a vinyl. But anyway.
Yes, I agree. It is a warmer sound. So you can get in CD, you can get, there's a limited box set available also.
Yes.
Atomic Fire Records in yellow, green splatter vinyl. Actually, that one's sold out. And then you have Nuclear Blast has the purple black dust vinyl, EMP in the red clear black dust vinyl, 2x LP in gatefold in the following variants: black, silver, clear, yellow, green, clear blue, purple black, red clear, clear black. So I mean, listen, it's like being in a candy store.
Yeah, but I mean, it's I think there's a reason why record companies doing that at the moment. The people really want to have this, and collect it also. I mean, the really heavy fans, they really want to collect everything. Yeah, it's good for us. I don't have any problems with that we have so many items around,
Yeah, and I gotta tell you, I am looking forward to, like, you're already talking about the new album. It blows my mind that you just keep on putting out great music. I'm looking forward to the next one, and I'm still enjoying this one.
Yeah. I mean, definitely now we have some couple of festivals left here in Europe. And then it looks like 97% that we go to America and Canada from the beginning of November until the middle of December. So I'm really looking forward to this. I didn't been in America and Canada with U.D.O for a long time.
Yeah, and it is great that we have live music back because there's no replacement for live music. So I can't wait to see you live and see these new songs live. It's going to be a blast. Thank you for always giving us such great music over like 40 years now. It just blows my mind.
It's a long time.
I think I told you last time we talked about my story of how I found out about you. I was going to an Ozzy show at night. And then I turns out my next door neighbor was Ozzy's promoter. I never knew it. And he invited me in his studio. And he handed me this cassette, and it was you. And it wasn't even. He's like, "This band's gonna be big. They're not even in the States yet." And I remember. Okay, so I was good friends with Dan Spitz from Anthrax, and he was like, when we all listened to that, me and all the big four of thrash, they were like, it was before there was a thrash.
Uh-huh.
Your music was the first thrash music ever, is what he said. Like that was the first thrash music ever, and that is what really shaped bands like Anthrax, Metallica, Megadeth, and Slayer to play thrash metal.
Yeah, so, I know. I mean, we inspired a lot of bands. I found that out later on, but then it's like also, for example, also Motley Crue, Dokken. I mean, I don't know. Also, many bands from Europe, especially from Germany. Halloween, Running Wild, Rage. I mean, I don't know. It was always like, wow.
I know, right? It's kind of weird to think of it that way because, especially, you go back then, you're a kid, and you're like You're just doing this for fun. You never imagine that here we are talking about this 40 years later.
Yes, I mean, that is also for me, let's say, a miracle, I never thought that I still, after 40 years, I mean, nearly 50 years, that it was before something, that I'm still doing that, I mean, that it's amazing, That means, in a way, you can say you did something right.
And doing it with your son and making it like the family business, because how many sons want to be in a band with their dad? That says a lot.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, so everything, what can I say? I mean, it's still fun to do it, and that's the most important thing, that you have fun to do this,
That's key.
And that, still it is fun for me. And I don't know, a lot of people also are asking me already, what you think about retiring? I said, no.
Yeah,
this is definitely nothing for me. Just sit home, just drinking coffee, and I don't know. No.
And if it's fun, why retire? It's kind of like I go on tour and do all these music festivals, and my kids are like, "Oh man, I'd never do what you do," and I'm like, "Yeah, I can imagine not doing it." It's like they might want to tell me to slow down, and I'm like, "Yeah, no."
So here we go, and then it's good, and I don't know, maybe my son always said, I think you can do it for another 10 years, and I said, they will see.
There you go. I hope you do, and I think you can. And man, if anything's a sign that you can, it's this album, Touchdown. It's probably one of your best works ever, and I love it. Thanks for giving it to us, and thanks for being on the Adventures of Pipeman.
Okay, thank you very much. Hello, this is Udo Dr. singer of U.D.O, and you listen to Pipeman on W4CY Radio.
Thank you for listening to the Adventures of Pipeman on W4CY Radio.